Welcome back. Today we're going to be making a Deco Mesh Christmas Tree. This is the final product. I chose black because I like those. These are the supplies that you're going to need. And here is the frame. I started with 1/4 inch dowels and I cut mine 20 inches for each side. And what you do is you hot glue, you lay one side down, then you lay the other down, and you're going to lay on top, up there at the top, to hot glue. And then you will decide how wide you want yours to be and attach the bottom with hot glue. And then about every 3 inches, I put another piece, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 rows there. And once you get that done, then you're going to need to secure at those joints with fuzzy sticks, pipe cleaners. We call them pipe cleaners here. Different, it just depends on what area you come from. Some people call them fuzzy sticks. But you just want to go around that joint to secure it. And my dimensions were 20 inches of the 1/4 inch dowel. I think I bought two that were about 45 inches long at the hardware store. And then you're going to put those at each joint, the fuzzy sticks, just to help reinforce it, and then at the very top, anywhere it has been glued. Now I'm taking this, it's actually called Polypro Mesh Ribbon, and I got that from Hobby Lobby. It was on sale, half price. And of course I chose black because I like black and white, buffalo check, and this is going to be mine. So I normally would use a witch hat frame from the Dollar Tree, and I actually looked online to see if they even still offer those, and I couldn't find them. I did find the pumpkin forms that I was speaking of earlier, but I think they've gotten smart, and now they've made it to where you have to buy 50 online. And then I also found the candy cane frames that you saw in the last video on dollartree.com. Now I'm taking my mesh, I cut it at 10 inches, and it's 10 inches wide, and there's 10 yards per row. I used 3 rows. And to make the fold, you kind of see that darker up there at the top. And I'm going to fold it over. And, make sure it lines up. Deco mesh is harder to deal with. And then I'm going to fold it to the other side. This is to make your branches. And make sure that's lined up well. And then fold it in half again. And I'm using white here to show you all, so it'll stand out. You really need to use whatever color, because you can get this in so many different colors, but I'm using white so you can see actually what I'm doing. And I'm twisting the wrong way. My husband tells me that all the time. He's like, you twist to the right. I finally get my brain straight and start doing that, but I'm just showing you how to make the branches. I'm not going to show you how to make all of them, because once you cut 3 rows of the Deco Mesh, you're just going to go ahead, and I used all of it, but just a very little bit, so it took it all. but I like mine full, so you know you can alter that also to your liking, the size. So I'm just folding it over again. You can use poly burlap. I've never used that one. It's more expensive. Like this was on sale, half price, and I think the original price was $7.99. So $4 when it's on sale. So you take that corner, go up to that corner, make sure it's lined up and straight. I know it looks kind of wonky, but and then fold it over again, and then turn it. It looks kind of like a spaceship, or not spaceship, rocket, and then fold it over again. Now I start twisting it the right way, and you really want to twist the Deco Mesh and not the pipe cleaner. So now we're going to start adding to our makeshift frame. And they make different frames. You can actually get tree type frames. But I'm going to start right there in that corner. And I'm just, as usual, making everything very hard on myself. But that's just how I roll. And give it a couple of good twists to make sure it's secure. And I went 3 inches in between. I have my dimensions written down here. I had 2 dowels cut at 20 inches for the sides. 1 at 14 inches, I think. That must be the bottom. And then 12 inches. And then going up, it goes to 9.5, 7.5, 5.5. And the very tip top is 3. Now I'm adding another. I'm just showing you how. I don't make you watch the whole thing, because once you get the gist of how it goes. And now I'm cutting off. Once you get that done, you want to cut off those pipe cleaners and turn them downward. So if you do hang this on a door, I'm going to hang mine on a, and that's what I took the picture of it in. I have a wreath hanger. I don't think I'm going to put this on the door, even though this stuff is weatherproof. But I think it's going to be too full for the in between our storm door and regular door. At our last house, we had a very large in between the storm door, and I loved it because I could hang my wreaths and I wouldn't have to worry about them being weatherproof or anything. And then I realized that I had done that, and I used the white to show you all. So I switched to, I didn't have enough black, so I switched to a forest or deep green that I had a lot of. And I took a Sharpie just in case, so it doesn't, show through or anything. I took a Sharpie and just colored over them. but they didn't show anyway because it's plenty full. Also, don't use poly burlap because it's heavier, so you need a one of the like tree wire forms from, I think, Trendy Tree, maybe the Wreath Shop. I don't know. I've seen before where they have those, but um, and with the Deco Mesh, you can use, and with poly burlap, you can use a okay, here I just went ahead and finished because you just do the same thing over and over. And now I am to making the bow with my easy bow maker that I don't make look so easy. And that's the ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby. It was half off. It's wired edged. I've gotten this ribbon before and it was better quality. I don't know what I did here. But this one didn't seem to be as stiff, and it was the same price. It was half off. But there was just something, the quality wasn't as good, so I don't know what's going on there. So I'm making the tail, and this Easy Bow Maker has inch markers on it. That's another thing that's good about it. So I think I went about 13 inches because I didn't know how long, and then placing the pipe cleaner down in there because I'm going to use that instead of wire. Doubling or putting it in half, getting that tail out of the way. And then I go over 5 inches and bring my loop up. That's what I'm pointing at, but you can't see it. But it is 5 inches. And then I go to the other side. Five inches over there. It marks it on both sides. I think the entire length of it is 12 inches of the Easy Bow Maker. Now I'm making my loop. I don't have to worry about twisting it because it's the same on both sides. But I do 3 on each side. I don't even have my Christmas tree decorated. And at one time I had a Christmas tree in every room. And I would start decorating after Halloween. But I don't do that anymore. And I used to decorate the tree on Christmas, or not Christmas, Thanksgiving Day. But I haven't done it. I'm behind. We downsized. That's why I'm here at the kitchen table. And I have a hard time because it's a tall table and I'm a short person. But we have a spare bedroom that I haven't set up as a craft room yet. And we're kind of having a debate. My husband put weight benches in there and big screen TV, and I thought it was supposed to be my craft room. But honestly, even when I had a craft room, I did most everything at the kitchen table, because if I don't, then I just get in my own world and I forget about, laundry, house cleaning, and stuff like that. It's handy for having, all of your stuff. So my stuff's in there, but I have to go digging through to get everything that I want. There's a bed in there, and I'm like, really? So now I'm going to make my other tail and pull all of this up and use the pipe cleaner, because I also use the pipe cleaner as a hanger in case I do decide. But either way, even with the wreath stand that I have, I need something to hang it on. You can also use those. I have used those before. You just flatten them out. But my husband had to cut off the hook, and it wasn't that easy to cut off because they have a hook. So I didn't use those. That's why I have this one. And for the poly burlap, you can check places like Paper Mart. You can, that's what I was going to say earlier. A lot of people will use a wood burning tool with a special tip to cut the mesh, and also cut, like if you use poly burlap, it's supposed to keep it from fraying, and you have to have a glass mat. I don't have a glass mat. I use my refrigerator. We were moving one time and I had an extra refrigerator glass that I used to cut it. I can't stand the fumes. They really bother me. But it's supposed to eliminate fraying, because I'm telling you, this Deco Mesh, it is relentless. I think that Spider-Man uses that stuff. If anybody ever comes at me and I have any Deco Mesh on hand, I'm just going to throw it at them, because it will tangle you up in a heartbeat. So you really have to go through, if you use this, and trim it up, and because there might be some, scragglers. I guess that's what I don't really know what it's called. Long piece, I don't know. So here I am trying to flet the bow, and this is what I'm saying. It's not as stiff as I've had before, and it's supposed to be the exact same ribbon, but I just don't believe that it is. But this is another reason why I would not, even though the poly mesh is weatherproof, I would not put this outside the door, because that's fabric. So now I have placed the bow on there, and I'm getting ready to add ornaments. I end up not using those. They're like little silver miniature ornaments from Dollar Tree. These are from Dollar Tree as well, I think. And they're little mini stars. See, I'm getting attacked by the Deco Mesh there. I end up putting just the stars on there, and I like it. I've always wanted one. I've never had the opportunity to make myself one. So I did, and I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll try doing this, because it's a really neat project. Thank you, and you all have a good day.